runs deep, and every ride's got a story to tell. From daily drivers to weekend warriors, we're talking paint, polish, and power, and the craft of bringing machines back to life. Tips, tricks, and a whole lot of passion for the road. So grab a seat, crack a cold one, and let's get to work. This is Clearcoat Confessions.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back inside the garage, episode 10 of Clearcoat Confessions, the podcast where we strip away the marketing hype, look past the labels, and talk about what actually take what it takes to chase the perfect defect-free reflection. Now, if you're anything like everyone on the panel here, you spent your fair share of weekends cramped inside your own garage, your carport, your driveway, tripping over extension cords, trying to catch the light just right on the black panel, wishing you had a little more room, a little more air, and a hell of a lot better lighting. But what happens when you take that hardcore DIY passion, obsession, and scale it into a massive climate-controlled sandbox built by detailers for detailers? Today, we're looking at a concept that's been shaking up how enthusiasts and pros step up their game. We are diving deep into the Bays Mesa out in Arizona. Imagine pulling your ride into a private climate-controlled bay, pushing 6,000 lumens of light, a dedicated 3-bucket station, AR pressure washers, and a tool crib stacked with Rupes polishers, heated extractors, ready to rent by the hour.
Dang, where do I sign up?
Is this the future
like a nice
of the local community, or just a playground for the ultra obsessed? Pull up a Viper chair or any chair, grab a clean microfiber, and let's get into it. This is Clearcoat Confessions, and welcome Mike Ott of the Bays in Mesa. How are you tonight?
What an intro. Very well. That was a nice introduction. I like that.
Thank you. That was put together by all of us. So we all appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
So, we're glad you're here. So
thank you for
Fernando has been stopping in and getting this all set up for us. Mike, why don't you go ahead and just give us some background about yourself, how the Bays got started, and we'll let Fernando just jump in there and get it going.
I'll start with the Bays, really, or the love of cars. And it all goes back to my dad. When I was 6-7 years old, I was underneath the car with him, learn how to change oil, cuss, throw wrenches, all that good stuff. But my dad was an old hot rodder, old drag racer, and he just gave me the love of almost anything with an engine in it, but really the cars. And then, I was, I think, 12 when I rebuilt my first motor with him, 14, first transmission, so he got me into all that stuff and just loving going to the car shows and seeing shiny and of course back then there was a lot of chrome. And then when I got close to driving, he was showing me how to wash a car, which left a lot to be desired as I grew older and got into it more. So the love of cars and keeping a clean car was always there. And 20 years ago or so, I started, my brother-in-law kind of got into the DA first, the old Porter Cable 7424. And he had me come out to his house and he showed it to me. And I just fell in love with this whole, I was always scared to approach the machines. And he had an old hood, and we just started going to town on it and learning. And we did that for months. And then finally we decided that, we'd love to hang out on Sundays at Buffalo Wild Wings and watch football. So what if we did some family car and got some money? And, that kind of started the business side of it. And for, the last almost 20 years, I had a side business detailing, on and off, I'd take some breaks here and there, but, so I guess about 3 years ago, I really got the itch to retire from my corporate job. And I was coming out of some back surgeries. I was getting really back into the detailing. And this concept came to me, and I saw it actually. So this is a franchise, if you guys didn't know that. And I saw a video with Ivan from DIY and Ken, and I just fell in love with the concept, and it kind of brought together years of stuff that I had thought about in my head that, hey, wouldn't this be great out here in Arizona instead of being in a 130-degree garage? Why not have an air conditioned facility and sell retail and all that stuff? So looked into it some more, made some phone calls, and that was just short of it, really. To end it quickly is it has all come together. We opened up October 4th of last year, and we've been hitting the ground hard and building and getting. The last couple months have been extremely busy. And the membership side is starting to pick up with it getting hotter and stuff. People are starting to understand and realize how nice it is to have a place to come in, not in the Arizona sun, got air conditioning and all that. So, so that's kind of the Bays side of it. I'm a veteran.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
It's my honor. And I got medically discharged in 01, right before 9/11. And 9/11 hit. I tried to get them to take me back in, but they wouldn't. And so I got a corporate gig and rose up through there. And so I was a defense contractor engineer and built gun control systems for different platforms, and was very successful with that. I was a general manager for our Tempe division, and just finally got to the point where I was done with corporate and military and government, and retired from that so I could pursue this. I just love every minute, even the hard, like I was telling Fernando, even the hard days are a good day, so I just love it.
Very cool.
Excellent.
So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Fernando. I was just going to say, go for it.
Today is Mike's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Happy
birthday.
We will not be singing though today.
We're not going to put you through that torture again.
It didn't work out too well in the pre-show.
Nope.
No bueno.
Well, happy
Take
birthday.
it over, Fernando.
What's that?
Take it over. All yours.
Well, you guys have any questions for Mike right now, or?
Yeah.
I do. Well, let me ask this one real quick, because you said that Mike roasts his he does coffee. What do you have in the mugs tonight?
So we've got some Ott's flat iron coffee, espresso going on. I've got a nice flat white going on. Fernando's got some coffee, just black straight coffee. So yeah, so that was one of the other businesses we own, is a coffee roastery, and one of the things I always wanted to do was have a coffee shop as well. So I was able to bring in, I keep looking over here because that's where our espresso bar is at. And so we brought that in so members can come in, hang out at the lounge, watch TV, have a cup of coffee, get an espresso or, something like that, and just hang out. And we're trying to build community. I don't care what you drive or how much money you spend on it. If you love cars, love vehicles and keeping them clean, come hang out, So one way to do that is coffee. There's been a lot of amazing conversations and over coffee and coffee tables for so long. Lives have been changed by sitting down and having a cup of coffee. So I want to facilitate something.
And Fernando gets a plain black coffee. All the fancy stuff, all the roast, and just a plain black coffee.
Fernando wanted Folgers.
I'm not that foo-foo like you, Franco.
Oh, okay.
I guess we should be thankful it's not whiskey in that mug.
It could be.
Wow, I was going to say,
Go off
do
the
we
rails
know?
real quick tonight.
Maybe an Irish coffee. How about that?
There you go.
I got a question, Mike.
That's in this one.
What type of espresso machine do you guys have there?
I'm sorry?
What type of espresso machine?
It's a Jura,
Okay.
automatic, super automatic espresso machine. And then, obviously I have a mocha master for the brewed coffee.
Nice.
I'm slightly into coffee, so
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right on. Me too.
Where do you source the beans?
So it depends on the blend, but anywhere from Ethiopia, Guatemala, the basics, Costa Rica, India, Mysore, Tanzania. I'm trying to think some of the other ones. Dominican Republic.
Colombia.
I don't have anything with Colombia in it.
Okay.
So I messed around with a couple different things in the past. I didn't like what I came up with. So all of our blends, they're mixers of some of those. And my wife and I would go through a cupping. We'd do a new blend or something. We'd have all the cupping on the counters. And by the end of the night, we were shaky and all that. So it's always fun. But,
Full of espresso.
Yeah. Yep.
What is your opinion on single origin coffee versus blends?
I love both. So it depends, like Jamaica Blue Mountain or Kona, you do it in a blend that kills it, in my opinion. Now I love Guatemala straight as a single origin, but it's so perfect with so many different beans and blends that it's in a lot of our blends. So it kind of depends. All the coffees that we use in our blends, we also will do single origin at home just to try them out as they are, as the roast profile that we have set up, to see if we like it as a single origin. But like I said, it just depends, especially the ones like Kona and Blue Mountain. To me, Jamaica Blue Mountain is the top. And when that's done right, that is an amazing coffee. So if you put it in a blend, to me, it kills it.
Yeah, I've had some people tell me, and Reddit says single origin coffee is the best coffee you can get, but all of my favorites have been blends. So I was curious on that question.
Well, what's the best wax?
Yeah.
It's personal preference to a degree too, right?
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
I had this conversation with Pop about this because he would love an instant coffee. Oh, isn't that good? And in my mind, I'm like, this is disgusting. But to him, good was different, right? So I might taste hazelnut or chocolatey notes. Well, you taste something else, so it's kind of relevant in a way, or relative to the person to a degree. So, that's one thing I don't like when somebody comes into the retail. What's the best APC or what's the best polish?
That's always a loaded question.
Exactly. So do you have brand loyalty? What is it that you're looking for in the performance of it? This is what I use. And this is, these are the options that I use because I feel that they perform the best for what I need, but there's so many variables.
Mike, was your dad a veteran as well?
No, he was a police officer. He was chief of police for back in Jerome, Illinois for 31 years, I think. And back in the late 60s, early 70s, he was Pinal County Sheriff's Department out here. And then he was chief of police at San Manuel and Mammoth. He passed away 6 years ago. 3 days ago was the 6-year anniversary of him passing away. So one of the blends I had was called Badge 660. His badge number was 660. And so when I first started messing with blended coffee, I came up with one that he just fell in love with. And then all kinds of people loved it. So when we actually turned it into a business, I named it, the Badge 660 for Pop.
That's really cool.
Nice.
So
The only reason why I said
where can the people find your coffee if they're not local?
Well,
Fernando will ship it to everybody.
Except Canada.
So
Hit up Fernando on Instagram.
I would say you can go to ottsflatironcoffee.com, but I've had to pull everything recently just because of the price of beans. I'm a small roaster, right? So now I just kind of do little batches for people here and there, which I forgot to bring some in today for you. But with tariffs and just the bean crop has been bad for the last year, droughts and all that stuff, the price of beans have more than doubled. And I couldn't afford to double my price to consumers. There's still a couple coffee shops in the East Valley that I do still roast for and supply for, because that's a little bit different. I've bought several hundreds of pounds of those beans, so it takes a while to go through them. But it's kind of limited right now, unfortunately. So. It was sad. It
next
was hard
season.
to stop it. That was definitely a passion project. So.
Thanks
Yeah, I
for
can
bringing up a
imagine.
sore subject, Vice.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry,
Vice.
I wasn't well versed in this
Yeah.
subject.
I'm gonna go cry in the corner over here for a minute. I'll be back.
I thought I was lining you up there, but it seemed to do the
So-
opposite.
So I guess I'm not getting coffee in Canada. No problem.
I couldn't ship to Canada anyways. So
Mike, I have a Bays question.
yes, sir.
Thank God.
Explain a little bit more about the membership and
Okay.
how that works and what
Yep.
comes with it, things like that.
Sure. So membership, the base membership is 3 hours a month. It's $99 a month. And so with that, if you need additional time, it's cheaper than non-member rate. You get a 50% discount on any tool rental. And the way that I do the tool rental, it isn't by the tool, it's just by the hour. So anything that's available, you can use within that hour for just the one cost per hour. So if it's $20 an hour, then you can use everything for that one price for the hour. So, I like that. I don't want to piecemeal it out to people and, abuse them. So that's what I did there. So you get a discounted rate on that. You get a 5% discount on retail. If you want any full service or if you want to attend one of my training classes, there's a 10% discount that comes with that being a member. Additionally, you get a locker to store your chemicals. I have a little conference room that's got some lockers in it. You also get access to the shower. If you get all hot and sweaty and have a hot date to go on, you can get cleaned up after you clean up your car. And then if we have any indoor events and if you have a ride that you want to enter into an event, you would get priority parking too. So the members would have first choice on bringing their cars in for any events.
Wow.
That's cool. Membership
I'm
has
sure-
its privileges.
Yeah. So I have 3, 6, and 8 hour a month memberships. And then we have a founder's membership that's a lifetime. It's one-time fee for lifetime. So yeah.
Nice. I'm sure being you're into coffee as well as cars, you must host some cars and coffees at some point.
Yeah, so I've done Beamers and Bagels at the Bays with the BMW Driving Club. I've done Miatas and Munchkins. We brought in some Dunkin' Donuts Munchkins. And I had a little joke because we had a bunch of Miatas in here. I can't remember. I think we had 22 Miatas in the Big Bay. And I was like, well, how many Miatas can you fit in the Bays? Apparently all of them. So, and then I did a Benz and Bagels. I'm an AMG guy. And so I had Mercedes-Benz Club of America in the Arizona chapter I'm a part of. And we ended up having like over 60 cars here. They were stacked out back and, so we bagels and coffee and donuts and all that stuff. I haven't specifically done a cars and coffee yet. There's so many in the Valley during car show season. I guess personally, I was thinking, well, how many people are going to come to mind type of thing. But, that's a self-defeating thought. So we're working on some stuff for a couple events in the summer. We're going to do some Friday night lights. When it's hot outside, all the car shows kind of shut down, but it's air conditioned in the bays. So we can come in, and be in an air conditioned facility and have a little bit of an indoor car show with cars outside. And then we're going to be working on cigars and cars. So we're going to bring in a mobile cigar lounge in the evening and have a potentially like a wine bar, mobile wine bar and food truck and stuff for that.
You
Nice.
better invite Eddie out to that cigars and cars.
Yeah.
He'll probably be right out there for that one.
How many bays at the facility, Mike?
So the wash bays, I have 3. And then for the dry bays, the ones that are sectioned off right now, there's, if you don't count my full service bays, we've got 5 of them. But there's enough space where I can flex multiple cars. I can fit the full size cars. I can fit 12 over there with enough room to work. And all the dry bays have a shop vac and compressed air, as well as a workbench. So you can set your stuff on. And all the wash bays, like was mentioned at the opening, there's a Ego blower, AR630 V2, MTM foam cannons, 3 bucket systems and everything. What's cool is for the wash bays, it's a self-contained unit. I use a PAR wash system. And so I didn't have to do any concrete work. Didn't have to have permits or anything because it's a mobile.
No troughs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because I mean, that gets real expensive real quick. And
Real
so
fast.
the system, I ground the floor so the water drains to the outside wall. And then there's 3 pickups at the end of each wash bay, and it gets pulled into the par wash system. And then it gets sanitized and filtered and everything the water does. And then par wash makes 2 different systems, one where you can reclaim all the water and reuse it, and then one where you can dump it. As it's not made for high production, so I dump after it's sanitized and everything.
Okay.
But it does reclaim almost 100% of the water that gets put down. So
You've
That's
seen the
cool.
good graces of the Arizona government, I'm sure.
yeah, and they just announced in the last month or so a bunch of water shortage, changes to the 100-year water canal thing or whatever that we've got with Colorado, Nevada, California, and Utah. So we're going to be getting less water here by September, I think. So
So
yeah.
does having that system set you up for that shortage or that limitation?
For the reclamation, yeah.
Yeah.
It can. I'd have to make some upgrades to the system, but yes, it's available, so I could reclaim. Yeah, we'd probably still have to add some water with each cycle, just to make sure. The problem is, like I said, it's on super busy days. If I get 7 or 8, 9 cars through, like on a Saturday, and that thing's just churning all the time, you can't reclaim it quick enough and filter it and everything. So you're going to have to keep adding to it.
Does that limit how many wash bays you can have?
Per system, yes.
Okay.
And it really actually more comes down to the area that you would need to suck up the
Service.
water.
Mhm.
So if you can put the bays really close together and maybe like do 1 drain for 2 bays, you could expand the bays. But the way I have it set up, I would need to add a smaller system to be able to add 1 or 2 more. I've got 1 or 2 more slots I could open up, like for larger trucks and stuff.
Right.
But I would need an additional system to be able to do that. So
hopefully, as it gets busier.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, hopefully, as it gets busier, it's nice that you can expand and add to that system, right? It's not limiting you. So sorry.
I was going to say Fernando can always bring his son, Joe.
Yeah.
You were saying, Mike?
Everything. There was a lot in the details. The devil's in the details.
There you go.
But it was set up specifically the retail space and everything, so I can't expand. So there was a lot of forethought put into the layout and where like floor fixtures are at, and I'm getting ready to add another floor fixture because bringing in some more product from Thor. But there's room to expand, and that was intentional. And because I really need expansion. That's the goal, right? So,
Nice.
So you mentioned wash bays and dry bays. So in the dry bays, I mean, Franco kind of brought it up. Can you do rinseless if you bring a bucket or you bring your son, Joe?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
In fact, I do a lot of rinseless. A lot of my maintenance washes are rinseless.
But
yes, yep, you can. I love rinseless.
What's your favorite rinseless?
Man, I use that on everything.
There you go. What's your go-to these days? Top 3.
It's kind of always been DIY as my fallback, like the V1 because of the surfactants. And Armor Details, I love theirs. Car Candy's the new Sweet Elite line. I'm really, really happy with that. And of course, Yum Cars. As far as lubricity, to me, Yum Cars is of the ones I've tried. That one is super, super slick. But I guess more of my utility. So like pad washing, if I'm going to use it for like an interior cleaner. I mean, I use it in here as well. I clean the bathroom mirrors and stuff like that. DIY on the V1, I still have plenty of that.
It's funny you say that. I love DIY's rinseless in my pad washer, my Lake Country pad washer. That is the perfect rinseless for that. I don't know why. It just is.
Yeah. It seems to work very, very well. You're right. I've tried others. O&R comes through, and I've tried that one, and I've tried ADS, stuff like that. But yeah, DIY seems to work the best for the pad washer.
Owner seems to be a one-trick pony. It can encapsulate, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Let me ask you a question, Mike. So you said that there's some equipment included if you get the membership or if you just do a walk-in. What tools are a part of the rental that are not included?
So I've got to look too. So I've got a lot of Rupes, both battery and corded, 1 inch, 3 inch. I've got the DIY rotary and DA. I've got 3 different Rupes, 15, 21, and 25. And then the rotary. And then we've got steam cleaner. We've got the I can't think of the name of it, but the big extractor.
Extractor, yeah. I
can't think of the name of the brand. And then obviously pad washer. If you want that, we've also got the air blaster. That one I don't just give out to everybody because people tend to toss them around. They break the funnels a lot. So that one's included there. And I think that's about
extractor?
it. Yeah, extractor. Yep.
Yeah. And you said
So the
those
bays
are all
would
the
be-
rentable stuff. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Say again.
Oh, go
Go
ahead,
ahead, Franco.
Oh, no. I was just saying that's all the rentable stuff.
Correct. Or you want to know what's included just with, so non-members can come in too. So non-member rate is $40 an hour. A member rate is $30 if you need additional time. Also, and I'll get to the equipment that's all included in that, but first-time users, I have a first-time user experience. So your first hour is complimentary. I will set you up with the car wash. I mean, I'll dilute it in the foam cannon for you, get your bucket set up, get everything for you.
Wow.
I want to take any of the guesswork and like fear, because some people, they see the facility and then they get nervous about, I don't know how to do this. I'm like, you're just washing a car, buddy. It's not rocket science. But they do get concerned. They see the equipment and all that stuff. So I wanted to take all that out. I was like, bring you and your car. I'll provide brushes for your tires and all that stuff. But then for the next 30 days, you also get a buy one, get one. So if you buy 1 hour, you get a second one free.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's all for the first time
That's
user.
not a bad deal. You said 40 an hour. So if I have a membership in 3 hours a month, you said?
Yes.
Well, once I hit my allotted and I want to come in for that 4th or 5th, 6th hour, I pay by the hour. But is that discounted or is that just full price?
No, it's discount. So it's $30 an hour for members.
Oh, badass.
Nice.
Yep.
And then you have rollover, right? If you don't use them.
If you buy the annual.
The annual.
Yeah, the annual, you get to roll over up to 90 days worth of hours. So I have a couple members who knew that summer was coming up, and so they were banking their hours so they could spend it through the summer. And
Yeah.
but you can use it however you want. So I've got some of the Miata guys come here, and it takes 30 minutes for them to wash their car. So I don't
Why so
charge them an
long?
hour unless they use an hour, so they can kind of double up basically, because they're paying for an hour. If they only use 30 minutes, you come back a second time for another 30 minutes. So I'm flexible. I have a lot of business owners that come in. This is like their downtime. They shut their phones off and they just want to get away. So they'll come in like the wash bay for 45 minutes and go over and use the dry bay for 15, and they'll do that 3 times a month. So you can use it however you want. So
I gotta ask, what's the lifetime cost?
the lifetime. So I'm getting ready to run a special. I'm not going to announce that price yet because I'm still finalizing some stuff, but it's actually pretty reasonable. So a lifetime founder membership is $2,500. With
That's not
that,
bad.
Wow.
no, but with that, because we have, we got Chicago locations, we've got St. Louis locations, we've got other places that are coming on board over the next couple of years that are various stages. You will be able, as a founder, you can use other locations for free. So if you were to travel across country, you can stop in. Now, if you are a regular member, it's going to cost you $10 to $15 per location, and you're not going to get priority. So if they're busy, you may have to wait, but a founder will get priority, and it doesn't cost them anything to use the bay.
Love
Are
it.
you getting
a great
lot
deal.
of?
Yep.
Are you getting a lot of mobile detailers coming in and looking at something like that with how often that they're going to have to come inside with how hot it gets there?
Yes. In fact, I've got one now who's renting a spot for the summer. But I've had several mobile guys come in and inquire about it. And I try to work with it. I'm not going to charge them like what the normal rate's going to be. It's going to be based on how many hours per week they think they're going to be here. And so we'll work it that way.
Trying to work with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that's a balance that you have to do with those guys and, just your regular customers. They're coming in because, limited space, limited.
Yeah. So there can be some scheduling conflicts from time to time. But I just want to work with everybody. So going back to my dad, right? The memories that I have with vehicles and cars and working on motors and all that stuff, those memories are, especially since he's not here any longer, are very, very important to me. And so I want to facilitate making memories for other people, right? And I don't want people to have to worry about how are they going to afford it. And that goes to the mobile detailer as well. They're trying to run a business as well, right? So I don't want to like charge so much for them to come do it that they're not going to use it or their business suffers. I'm not about that. I mean, this whole industry, there's nothing proprietary, right? And, it's not like, again, we're washing cars, right? Yes, there's some, I understand there's tribal knowledge, there's skill, there's all of that. But this whole industry is going to work better if we all just work together and get along, in my opinion. So
there's enough meat at the table or there's enough food at the table for everybody, as they say.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And it's saturated here, And there's a lot of mobile detailers. There's a lot of people thinking they're mobile detailers as well. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, I'm busy. I'm spending, 14 to 16 hours a day here pretty much, so it's, there's plenty to go around.
Yeah. Rodney King said it best. Can't we all just get along? All right. Greg, you want to get some of these viewer questions asked to Mike?
Yeah. Yeah. We have got a ton of
21 questions so far. So
this is probably the most questions I've seen for any of our guests ever.
Yeah, it is. So let's start at the top.
All right. Diamond asks, does the Bays want to help me franchise out here in Seattle area?
If you can send me a private message, I can get you in contact with Ken.
There you go, Dan.
Excellent.
Go get him. All right. Next one. B. Riley asks, how has the revenue been so far compared to all the initial business plan?
It's lagged a little bit, but I'd say we're close. We're probably 90% to where I thought we would be at this point. And like I said, the last 2 months, all of a sudden, it's kind of gone more vertical as opposed to gradual. So
do you think that, just to piggyback off that question, is that you think it has something more to do with you opening up in the winter than, in the summertime, because now people are seeing the value in having the bays in the summertime?
Definitely. I think that's part of it. And also, I mean, if people don't know you exist, they can't come use it, right?
Great point.
Trying to get the word out there and educate people. That's been a big problem, is just educating people on what it is we do. Some people come in and think I'm only retail, or I'm only full service, or I'm only DIY. So, that's been part of the hurdle to get over as well. But yeah, we're definitely.
Are you doing a marketing plan, or are you going like Google advertising, or are you going word of mouth completely?
Everything.
Everything. So hitting with the kitchen sink.
Yeah, I got 2 different marketing companies. One's focusing solely on Google, as well as they help me out. I'm doing a whole new warranty pamphlet and car wash maintenance pamphlet for my clients and stuff. So they're helping me with that, but they're also helping me with the Google business. I've got a separate marketing company that's doing the meta stuff. I've got a social media lady as well that was helping out. She just went to BioBombs, is bringing her on full time because she was working for them too. So that unfortunately has come to an end. But so, it's hitting everything, as well as word of mouth. I've got all around the place. You can tap your phone. It takes you straight to my reviews on Google business. so people can leave reviews, because that's one of the biggest thing. People see on that first page on Google, especially more than likely they're ready to pull the trigger. So
Nice.
Nice.
So Mark Horn asks, oh, did we missed that question? Let's go back. For Mark.
Oh, you want me?
Oh, I'll have
Yeah,
to
the
find
Mark
it again.
All right, no problem. We'll go to Dark Dragon. We'll get back to. Oh no, there it is. Mark.
Go ahead.
Mark asks, mobile detailers can start early and get those details in, then move into the bays during the heat of the day and continue work. Okay, so that was more of a comment. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Dark Dragon asks, do you speak at all with the other bay owners, like the guys over at O'Fallon, Wheeling, and Romeoville?
Yep, quite frequently. Jeremy, the O'Fallon, he and I are pretty close, so we talk probably once a day. Some days there's 5 or 6 phone calls back and forth, but then we have a weekly meeting, franchise meeting and stuff. So yeah.
Awesome.
Hold on. So just to piggyback off that, because that was my question. Do you guys? I was gonna say, do you guys like compare how progress is going with each of the franchise locations and
Yes.
coordinate? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was interesting. We knew there would be some regional differences. Now, O'Fallon, they're west side of St. Louis, so they're not terribly far from Chicago, but there are some differences in the region and what sells and what doesn't. And so we didn't know really what to expect out here. One thing that was shocking to me, because, we have a lot of Californians that have moved here in the last 6 years. And, P&S, California company, I really honestly thought that P&S would be hard to keep on the shelves. And that one actually has stayed. I was kind of shocked with that. But Ken in Wheeling, he can't keep it in stock. It's just, it's funny how the regions are different. Now, there's some things that are common sense. Those guys back east, because of snow and salt, they have multiple undercarriage sprayers. I have one. It rarely gets used, because we just don't really have that issue out here, or a lot of windshield coating stuff, because it doesn't rain but 3 minutes a year. So
Or a lot of the pre-salt or the salt,
Neutralizers.
we don't use that here. We don't.
Yep.
Do you guys have winter there?
we get a good couple hours a year.
Yeah, it gets like down to 45, 50 degrees some nights.
It does. It can get cold in the winter.
Yeah, occasionally we get alerts that it's going to get down to 32, and we have to be considerate of our,
We're told to put a jacket on.
trees. Yeah, cover your plants and make sure your pipes are running a little bit, because the houses aren't built for anything that extreme here, right?
So
And that's
summer in
the
Canada.
situation.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
We can ask you the same question, Adamo. Do you get summer up there?
No. Easy answer. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But
It snowed like last week, I think, didn't it?
it was a couple of weeks ago that it did snow. So
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
before
Basically,
we
in
go to
those.
the next qu-
Oh, I'm
ahead,
sorry.
go
Go ahead. Go ahead, Greg. I was just gonna say, if
I was-
your nipples are hard here, that means it's winter. So that's,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
I was just curious,
That's the judge. Okay.
Mike, if
knew there's a litmus test.
Fernando shared his drag race with the R2D2 delivery machine with you.
I have not. I don't know if you've seen it, but
They're all over. They're on the other side of this building complex is where they're housed out of.
yeah. But Greg says I drag race one and I lost. Because that's
No.
on my YouTube channel.
No, he lost.
I haven't
You
seen
got
that, no.
smoked.
He got smoked, Mike. Go ahead. Next question.
Next question. All right. Chingy Blingy asks, what's the wildest thing someone's ever has tried doing at the Bays?
ooh.
Like something
Not
probably
including
that,
my wife.
not including your wife. We'll leave personal
And
stuff
she's
out.
watching, by the way. So,
Excellent.
um,
Hello, Mrs. Ott.
Nothing real crazy. Now, how do I want to say this?
Think like
There's
a
another business
like a
in this
more-
area.
Yeah.
Well, there's another business in this area, and one of the employees uses chemicals And she has a tendency to kind of wander through if the bays are open in the winter when it's nice and cool. And some of those conversations have been quite interesting. But other than that, I mean, I had one guy who was adamant that he was going to polish his undercarriage here, and he wanted to know if he could get a special price if he was here for like 2 days just polishing like the frame rails and stuff. And it was like a Highlander or something. I'm just like, well, okay, yeah, but you know, that's
Sure. If you're offering,
nothing
we're,
too
we're
crazy.
accepting.
yeah, right. You know, I will say this: the business model itself, based on what is happening at the other locations, is tend to lend itself to people who are much more responsible for the most part. They kind of have their life together, you know, to a degree.
Franco's out.
What's that?
Franco's out.
But yeah, so most of the clients who come through are pretty respectable, and you know, they behave themselves.
That's good.
Excellent.
That's good. Next question. All right, Conway is asking, do you offer special membership for professional detailers that are mobile that can rent time from you versus a DIY membership? So do you have two separate memberships, or do you give special discounts for the detailers?
So yeah, like I said, I don't really have like a membership for professional detailers, but I've got some that are renting, you know, for the summer. So it comes down to having a conversation and how many hours they think they will be here. And so I've got some kind of rates based on if it's 20 hours or less a week, or 25 and more a week, or something like that. So some of it's kind of custom because it also depends on, you know, what are they more focused on. Some only want to do washes all day long, just wash. That's a little bit different because water and all that stuff, as opposed to someone who's going to spend more time doing polishing and ceramic coating and stuff, and their washes are typically quicker. So it just comes down to having a conversation with the person.
That makes sense. All right, next question. Chingy Blingy. Well, Chingy, you're here. Why don't you ask
You're
it?
here.
Yeah, hey Mike.
Chingy just joined us.
You can call me Chris.
Hey, Chris.
I've got to read the little font here down on my phone, but this actually came up in one of our phone calls. Is there a limit to the kinds of concoctions that are allowable at the bays? You know how people can do the mad scientist thing, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Where do you draw the line? Yeah, where is the bays drawing the line? And public health's a concern.
Well, I mean, you know, I use will acid and stuff like that. I mean, I think within that, as long as you're not doing a lot, that's pretty much it. I mean, you got that acid, you got high alkaline stuff. So, I mean, that's stuff we use every day. I've not had anybody really come up with anything crazy. So it's a good question that I haven't addressed, honestly. It more comes down to what the city limits are. So I would say as long as it's nothing worse than like what you would use for a will acid or a high alkaline product.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that kind of goes to. I'm sorry. I was going to say.
Go ahead.
That Conway had a question similar along those lines, asking that if you allow people to come in with their own chemicals outside of what you offer there.
Yeah,
Yep.
we were getting there. Yep.
Nope. And I typically ask them, you know, like when they come in, hey, do you need anything? How you set up? And just out of curiosity, I just want to know what people are using. So I'm always talking to them to see what's in use. And quite honestly, you know, Coach Kimmy and Adams are some of the most popular that come through. So
I was just going to add
yes,
that, you know, you don't have anybody in there like trying to mix ammonia and bleach, you know, so.
I was thinking the same
I think
thing.
you're good.
No. Yeah. And I walk through quite a bit. So even if I'm on a car, I mean, I'm constantly going through, I mainly because I don't want people to need something and be afraid to come find me because they're embarrassed to ask a question or something. So I will wander through quite often, and I'm always eyeballing stuff, you know, and just seeing what they're using and stuff like that. So, you know, and I do chlorine tabs that sit in the par wash system. So that's part of the sanitizing, as well as I run about a half a cup of bleach each day through it on busy days. So
Nice. All right. And I guess we already got Conway's question out of the way there. Thanks, Ricardo. All right. And next question is also Conway. Do you have space for people to do paint correction and coatings? And I have a feeling that you're going to say yes to this one.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got 10,000 square feet here, so it's a pretty big facility, and about 7,300 of it is the Bays itself.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I have some members who, it seems like every month and a half they're coming in and putting a new ceramic coating on their car, and they just use the Bay all day long after they wash it, and they're over there for hours putting the ceramic coat on. So yep, and I rent the polishers and everything else. So yep, there's
Nice.
plenty of room.
Nice. All right. Next question.
It's another Conway question.
All right. What size of air compressor do you utilize, Darren? It must be huge. That's
Yeah,
what
it's
she-
120 gallon. I know somebody would ask the specs, and I don't always remember everything. It's USA made, and I can't remember the name right now. But it's big enough. I can go look too. It's big enough because I want to do dry ice cleaning.
Oh,
so
nice.
I prepared for that. So it's big enough, got enough horsepower and CFM and everything to be able to do the dry ice cleaning as well. So thinking ahead.
Geez, that would be nice up here. I might drive down just to do the underneath the car.
Yeah. So I'm excited to get into that point. I've had a few people ask, but it's, I want to step into it. It's not something that people are going to be using every day. So the ROI on that needs to really be valid.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Not a lot of people have it up here at all. So
Yeah.
I've been actually looking. So road trip.
All right. Let's get to Ross's question here. Ross asks, how do you know your market was right for the Bay style car wash? Nothing like this around us. And what would you, I'm sorry. And would love to see one here. 4 seasons here. So the question is, I guess, what made you think that your area is right for it?
because I know I got tired of sitting in my garage at 120
I was gonna
degrees.
say, if you ever wash a car in Phoenix in the summer, you'll know exactly why this is a
Yeah.
best thing ever.
So, a lot of the cars that I did for years were up in Pine Top, up in the high country. So 8,000 foot elevation. Cause at the time I had a 58 Chevy Biscayne, and my partner, my brother-in-law, had 65 Mustang. And so we were in the car club up there and the cruises and all that stuff. So when I would do them down here, I mean, you're starting at 4:30 in the morning. And it's still 95 degrees, right? And so the sun peaks up at, like by 6:30, you're in the sun. And so your car needs to be washed and hopefully shaded by that point. And I had big swamp coolers in my garage. And as long as you're in front of that, it didn't feel too bad, but you step a foot off to the side and now it's 125 degrees. And so even with, of course, now you got a swamp cooler blowing on your vehicle. So all your product reacts differently. Your coatings react differently and everything. So I just knew the trouble and, or the risks of that. And as I'm getting older, the health risks too, so there's never any guarantee. That's why there was a lot of conversation. My wife and I had a lot of conversations, obviously a lot of conversations with Ken, the CEO of the Bays. And I don't know. And I just had a gut feeling that this makes sense out here. It's air conditioned. Why, there's a huge car culture out here. Especially, like I said, we're right next door to California. A lot of them have moved here and they have an amazing car culture. And they brought that with them. They want to maintain their vehicles and their hot rods and everything. So give them a place to come, build it and they will come, so to speak.
Build it. Yeah.
And oddly enough, I know for the Chicago area bays, the winter is their busiest time almost, like especially after a rain or if the snow just melted and they want to come in and get all the salt off and all that stuff. So their winter is actually busier than some of their summer times. So
that would be this. That would be the same up here. I'd have to rent a cot. I'd be there all winter. 8 months out of the
house
year.
Reclines. There's a shower. There's
Coffee in the morning.
Coffee
in the morning. You
Put
got to
one in
supply your own
Canada,
donuts, though.
and
And if you got a Miata, he'll give you a Munchkin.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But that's the thing too. I mean, it is very unique. So I get a lot of questions about who's your competition. And honestly, there's so many pillars to the business. I do training. I do retail, I've got memberships, I do full service. I don't really know if there's a direct competitor. I mean, yes, there's other detailers, but I'm not reliant upon just the full service side.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
so to me,
you
it just makes
probably-
sense to a lot of people.
You probably have competition in each one of those segments,
For
but
sure. For sure.
you don't have competition because it's all under one roof.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and
That's-
I think that's
you
good. Yeah, you can rely on, like, when one part of the business is, you know, not doing as great, the other one can, you know,
Mhm.
pick up the slack a bit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
All right, next question.
Let's see here.
All right, Chris asks, what are the hot selling products in your region? I'm assuming products.
Coach Kimmy is really big. Car Candy is getting bigger too. They're doing a great job on their social media. So I'm looking around. I've got a lot of stuff, so I got to kind of look. Naziol is starting to sell very well. I love their products, and you know, I use a lot of their products, and so I talk about them a lot. So they do move pretty quick. DIY Detail is a big mover as well. And of course, you know, Liquidator, you know, I mean, the drying towels and stuff, the DIY drying blankets, I can't keep those on the shelf. Men on the Sticks move around pretty quick too. So
Nice. I'm curious on
Perfectly
how.
safe brush?
Yeah, yeah.
There was a question. Do you carry the perfectly safe brush?
yes,
DIY.
I do. Yep.
Do you use the perfectly safe brush? Are you a
Yes,
fan of that? Oh wow.
I am. So I did several washes on our own vehicles. There was a kind of a retraining of my brain, right? So when you've got the muscle memory of your pad,
It feels
and
wrong.
you kind of, yeah. So I found that I was missing a lot of spots with the brush, because now I'm on a pole and I'm sitting back, and I thought I was doing it. I would look, I'm like, well, I just missed this spot over here. I missed this one over here. So there was some retraining for myself and my process. But I do love it. I can, you know, reach over. I'm 6'4", but still it's nice to be able to reach from one side and get all the way across the top. I've had people question me about it, and I don't use it on, you know, a lot of customer cars, but the bigger ones definitely are Sprinter vans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
makes
the thing I
sense for
love
sure.
about it, what's that?
There's a time and place for it, obviously.
Correct.
Mhm.
So Ivan showed it to me before they released it, and I couldn't believe how soft it was. And of course, we all have that old, you know, never use a brush, and you know, and that is true. Like you go to the rinseless, or not rinseless, but like the self-serve
Coin
car
operated,
washes, and they got that brush.
Going
And,
up, yeah.
but this one, I mean, it's so soft that like if the dirt's really on there, you're not going to get it off with it. And so that tells me it's not super abrasive. You know, the results that I have with it have been very good. I love them for the grills a lot of times, because some of those grills get so intricate trying to get in there with the pad. I mean, you guys know that's a real pain in the butt.
Mhm.
So I love it for grills as well. My experience and my user experience with it has been positive. I'll say that. And I know online that's not across the board. There are some people who don't like it, and that's fine. So
What about the
Well,
new
our
one that came
buddy-
out from Auto Fiber? Have you tried the new one from Auto Fiber?
I've not.
Our buddy Carlos Serrano washed the car 500 times, and there was no scratches with the PSP.
Mhm.
I don't think he washed the same car 500 times. I think he did 500 washes
Yeah.
with it.
Same
Yeah,
car,
yeah, yeah.
same panel. No, it was the
Exactly.
same car.
No, it was the same
Oh
car.
yeah, yeah. He's
It was same
he
car?
washed the hell out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
Same
Same
car.
car, same panel.
Okay.
It was the
all
door
right.
that he
I
did
stand
over and over and
corrected.
over.
No.
All right.
Well,
All
have you
right.
guys used the DIY wheel brush?
Yeah,
The
I
soft
have.
green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The
I don't
perfectly
use
safe
any
brush is
brushes.
softer
I
than
don't
that
even-
thing.
Yeah, I refuse. I'm one of those hard sales. I might try the one from Auto Fiber. Frankie Leppy told me that one's pretty good. You know, of course, the originator of the mint on the stick, but I don't even use wheel face brushes. Yeah, I'm that
Yeah.
I'm that guy. Yep.
All right.
And, you know,
Well, I
that's
mean,
okay too.
yeah.
You know, I mean, there's no wrong on that,
No,
right?
no,
Nope.
no.
I don't know. If you see my Lexus grill piece, you'd get a brush too, bro. So trust me.
My wife's Infinity Grill is a pain in the butt. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
Just so everybody knows, I'm going to skip a few because there's 4 or 5 in a row that are all the same person. So I just want to give everybody a little bit of
No problem. We can
airtime,
circle back. All right. J Farm asks, can they rent a stall in the parking lot to prep a car, then bring it in to polish and coat?
Parking, you can park for free.
There
You
you
can
go.
do whatever you want outside and then bring it in and start. Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know if you'd want to.
Yeah,
But
I think the whole point of getting out of the Arizona hot sun, I think, is the whole point of the Bays. Yeah.
Yeah.
now I will say, like 4-wheel drive trucks or some of the off-road vehicles and stuff like that, if they're really muddy and got a lot of stuff, I will spray them off outside
Yeah.
and then bring them in. So
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, to kind of piggyback on J Farms, it's all of the bays, wet and dry. They're all enclosed. They're all inside.
yes.
There's nothing. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. There's not like a covered bay outside and you're still in the heat.
No.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
we'll take a tour so that we guys can see what it's actually all
Sure,
about.
that'd be great.
Nice.
That
nice.
last question rolls into this one really well.
All right. Conway asks, what's the largest vehicles that you allow or can fit in your shop? Do oversized vehicles cost more?
Great question. So my 2 garage doors are 12 foot by 14 foot. So the limit really is height. Now I've had some big Sprinter vans in here, ones people are living in and stuff, and they will fit in here. I could bring an RV in straight if it will fit in the door, but it takes scheduling, and a person would have to be flexible because I'd have to do it when nobody else is going to be in the bay, and I'd have to block off all that other time.
Mhm.
So we could just pull straight in. You'd have to wash it. One side would be like on the bay, the other would have to be on the concrete, but the pressure washer would still hit. We'd have to take care of that water, but then you'd be able to back straight back out. So that's the limit. I really, if it makes sense and we can fit it in here, I really don't care.
Well, it's cool that you're accommodating for those people if it's possible.
Well, Snowbird Central out here. We have a lot of
Yeah.
Canadians come down in the winter, right? And so they have big trucks, and I'll get to the second part of that question, but RVs, fifth wheels, and stuff like that. So I've done a few quotes as they've not come through, but in the winter with like fifth wheels and stuff, I can do those right out back because I can take the pressure washer outside and do that. So I can still take care of it for them. So oversized trucks, as far as if you're doing it yourself, there's no upcharge for it. Now, if you want me to wash it or do something on there, and if I got to get up on the Gorilla stand, and it just takes more time. And obviously, it depends on what you want. So
Time is money.
yeah. And so there may be an upcharge. So trucks typically and big SUVs are typically more expensive anyways, just by the nature. But if one's really jacked up or something like that, then it would be a custom quote.
Excellent.
All right, next question. Ricardo asked, Ricardo, you're here. Why don't you ask?
So I just was curious, have you ever had a moment when you're walking around, you mentioned this, where a customer surprised you with a technique or a chemical that was just super effective that you just were surprised by?
Yeah, there was I can't remember what it was now, but it was a black dye for black trim. And I was working on a vehicle and it was extremely oxidized, and I polished it out, trying to clean it and everything. And I just could not get the result I wanted. And so this guy had, I can't remember what it was, an off brand. I never heard of the brand before.
Solution Finish.
That doesn't sound right, but it may be. It's been a while back. But I was impressed. Got exactly the result that I was looking for. So that one kind of surprised me. Now I've got the DIY, trim and the armor detail and stuff, but I still wasn't getting the results I was looking for. And so whatever this guy had worked great. And honestly, I should have kept the name. I just don't have it.
It's all good.
You could
It's all
have
good.
stocked it up on the shelves.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Shine Supply. Don't they have like a trim? It's almost like a paint, if not a paint.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I don't think it was Shine Supply, but I know which one you're talking about.
It had a black dye in it, you said?
Yeah, yeah. But it was, I mean, it wasn't like the other dyes and stuff I've messed with. It was almost like a paint can. I mean, it was, yeah,
Oh, wow.
it was, yeah,
Trim
it was
plaid.
different. I just don't remember.
It's okay.
We're gonna
It's
spend the
okay.
next 30
Since
minutes.
then,
We're gonna
so.
spend the
We're
next
not
30
gonna sit here and
minutes trying
guessing. All right. So Chris asked, "Do you see much chemical guys getting used in the bays? And do you kick them out right afterwards?"
Only if they're going to the California Duster after that. So,
Oh no.
Next question.
double whammy. I see a fair amount of chemical guys. There's a chemical guys location about 2 miles south of here.
That's unfortunate.
I'm not going to say any more. There's more out there, and you know, I'm never going to tell somebody, especially to their face. Well, actually, I might because I don't have much of a filter. I'm not going to really run something down. Now, if it's like if you're using Armor All in your dash, I'm like, hey, you know what? It's going to crack, you know. But I will try to tell them, hey, there might be something better that's really not a whole lot more expensive that's going to give you better results. But I'm not going to, oh, that's a crap product. You know, I'm not going to be like that to them because, again, going back to like the coffee, because I love something doesn't mean that you love it, right? And it may do everything for me, but for you, you don't like it, we'll never use it. Okay, no problem. That's your thing. So
Yeah.
I'll give you options and alternatives, but you do what you want to do at the end of the day.
That's an attack on Fernando with this chemical guy's coffee right there.
Okay, I have to remember that. That's a t-shirt right there. No chemical guys coffee.
All right. Conway asked, "I've thought about adding this type of idea to our business. What's the investment? Is there a blueprint for the setup for this?"
And
I
would
can tell
you
you,
rather?
but it cost you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you rather have them just contact you directly instead of talking about that?
Yeah, that'd be best. It's an investment. Believe me, it's you're not going to do it for cheap. That's for sure.
Yeah, I would say probably
So,
at least
and
$250,000, right?
Yep. That's a good starting spot.
Yeah,
That's
it's a good starting spot. Yeah.
A lot of it is so rent is going to be your biggest expense, right? And so in Arizona, what's weird, Tempe was horrible, and I tried. There's a couple locations in Tempe. Literally, it's 2 football fields away is Tempe, and it's like a completely different system over there. They wanted, you know, my kids' hair samples and everything else. And as soon as I mentioned car wash, they must have thought I was doing a tunnel wash or something like that, because now I had to have all these special permits.
Ooh.
But if I wanted to have a machine shop and have machining oil all over the floor and shavings, no problem. You're good to go. But a car wash with biodegradable soap, oh no!
Yeah.
I come on the other
Want to
side
store
of the
toxic
101
waste?
bases
No
and-
problem. But if you want to wash your car, forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. But on this side of the 101, Mesa was like, yeah, whatever. Are you starting a restaurant? No. Okay, you're good. I mean, literally, it was extremely easy to deal with Mesa.
It's good to know.
But that being said, that's for the commercial. So commercial spaces in Mesa tend to be, let's say, 3,500 square feet and less, or about 8,000 and up. So there's nothing in that middle. So originally I wanted to try to find something that was around 7,000 or 7,500 square feet. But they're, at least in the locations that I wanted, that, you know, I'm so close to Scottsdale, Chandler, Tempe, Phoenix. I mean, all the places where the demographics are really good for the business and cars, there wasn't anything in that. So I had to go larger than what I originally wanted, which meant the rent was much more than I wanted. But it's starting to pay off because of the location and the business stuff. So rent will always be your biggest, you know, or buying a building. I looked at buying a building. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real
Not in
estate's
Arizona.
it's a bitch right now to get into real estate, especially commercial.
Yep. The smallest
Alrighty.
building I could find started at, it was almost $5 million. And that was, I want to say it was 8,000 square foot.
Hmm.
Jeez.
Wow.
All right,
Chris,
next
you're up.
question from Chris. Chris, do you want to ask it?
I can't see it. I'm gonna
All right,
replace
I'll
it
read
with.
it for you. I'll read it for
Well,
you.
I've got a better one. Whatever that's
All
on
right.
there, I got a better one.
All right.
So, Mike, obviously you're a businessman. You went into this business to support yourself, your family, but remove yourself from the business perspective. I think that people in the car industry have a passion for it. At least that's the idealistic part of my brain. What is one thing that from a car culture, detailing culture, one thing that you think is wrong with the industry, and then one thing you think we should all be proud of and that you love most about the industry? Culture
Good
in
question,
particular.
Chris. Good question, man.
Are we talking in the detailing world or just kind of like enthusiasts?
The detailing enthusiasts, pros, whatever.
Keep it open.
The culture.
The community.
Yes.
You know, so I did a quote for a guy today. I'm not going to mention his car or anything else, but to him, he wanted to make sure that I would give it the same quality, same level of attention that I would a Bentley. And I told him, you know, I'm the owner and you're paying me to do X, X, and X. I don't care what I'm working on. I'm going to do the same amount. I mean, I was corporate professional guy for a long time in the military and in that whole world. So how people look at me as far as what I give them is very important to me. Right. So I want to make sure that my integrity is up high. So I told him, you know, here's the products I use on the McLaren I did last week. They're the same products I'm going to use on your car. There is no difference, right? So I think that lends itself to this different sections of, well, your car's less than 100,000 or mine's more than 250,000. And so there's kind of, we'll turn our nose up. And I could say a couple specific manufacturers as that seems to be more pronounced than others. But like I said, I personally do not care what you drive or how much money you spend. I may not I wouldn't do what you did to your car, but that's your thing, not mine. I don't care. Come sit down, watch TV, hang out, drink coffee, enjoy the experience, enjoy the community, right?
Yeah.
Now, that being said, the community that does exist to a large extent, I'm very proud of because there is still a lot of that, of just appreciating the work that someone puts into their car, right? So again, maybe that's not my thing and I wouldn't spend my money to do that if I had your car, but I can appreciate the effort that went into that. And, you know, so that I'm proud of. I wish there was more of that. Again, I don't care what somebody drives. I'm not that impressed.
You know, I think that's kind of a thing that we talk about, like as detailers, like, you know, well, you know, most people don't care what you put on your car, and you're saying this guy cares what he puts on his car. He wants the same treatment as the AMGs, you know. So I think that's kind of cool that customers are becoming aware and like, you know, if I'm going to pay you for this service, I want the good stuff on my car. So I
want
like
chemical
that.
guys, goddammit.
Yeah. and the culture. And the culture is always growing. That's a beautiful thing. Like, you know, you're out there doing your thing, and you know, every year there's a 17-year-old turning 18. You know, the culture is always
100%.
always on refresh. So having that out there to teach the new guys coming in every year is, oh, dude, it's badass.
It's upon us too.
I just saw that probably about 3 weeks ago, kind of tying on to what Mike was saying. So I'm going on this road trip with my family and we're just leaving town, haven't hit the freeway yet. And we see this, I don't know what it was, man. It was like this old Toyota something. And it was like a 16-year-old kid and he had a wing on it. He had flared out wheels, neon hubs. I mean, it was wild, but you could tell it was this kid's first car. and it was the shiniest, glossiest paint I had seen in forever. And I told my wife, I said, you know what? That's the ugliest car we're going to see today. I said, but look how that shines. There's not a swirl mark on it. You could tell that kid put his heart and soul into every part, into every paint scheme. I mean, he dialed it in, and that was his baby. And it made me feel kind of good. I was like, yeah, that's what it's all about right there.
Nice.
Exactly. I mean, it's everybody's passion is different for vehicles. You know, the gentleman who was in today, I mean, it was a 16-year-old car. It wasn't like it was a fancy car, but he told me this is and he was an older guy. He was almost my age. He said, I've always wanted this vehicle. And it was kind of beat up and it needed some love, but he has been putting money into it because he loved it. Right?
Yeah.
People ask me, you know, what's your ideal client? That guy. Do you walk away from your vehicle, regardless of what it is, and take one more look because you love it?
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, amen.
That's the person I want in here.
Amen.
You know, I don't care what it is, but do you love cars? Do you love the community? Then you are at home. So,
Good stuff.
Amen. All right, next question.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, it's upon us to what's the word I'm looking for?
Usher in the new era.
Yeah,
The
usher in the new
guys.
era, bestow
Pay it
that
forward.
onto the younger guys, right?
Right.
I have a couple
and they're going to learn
of,
from us. Right?
What's that, sir?
They're going to learn from us. So
Yeah.
if they see us older folks being judgmental and trying to separate ourselves from that class of car, then that's going to, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
everybody that comes in through my doors, they're treated the exact same. I'm not high volume. I'm more, one-on-one care, and it doesn't matter if it's a Toyota Tercel or a 911 or a 928S, whatever it is. It's my neighbor has a Maserati. It's whatever comes in, and they're treated the same. So.
We talk about it internally with the Bays, Jeremy, Ken, and I, quite a bit, that it's about the experience, right? So if someone comes in and, and I get this a lot, they come in for one bottle of something, it's $18 and then they leave. I want them to look at that $18 and the time spent to buy that bottle as the best that they could possibly have experienced, right? So it's about greeting them. It's especially if I know them, like trying to remember names and faces, because we all want to be recognized and looked at as someone of significance, right? So if you can say, "Hey, Tim, welcome back in," man, that changes that. As opposed to, "What was your name again?" So, and I don't mind talking to them about products or whatever. I mean, that's part of the experience. That's part of why I exist here, is to help educate people too. Not that I know everything. But it's about that experience, like what you're just saying, Adamo. I mean, I want them to leave going, yeah, heck yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do us all a solid, and next time Fernando comes in after the show, just greet him and say, "Hey, Francisco, how you doing?"
As long as you don't call me Greg, I'm okay.
Okay. Should I have a Grubhub car or a Grubhub robot meet you?
Yep. Now, if you could deliver chemicals to my house on those,
there you go. That's a new tap market right there.
You don't have air conditioning at home, Fernando, so it's probably better to come pick them up.
Besides, you'll have to make a stop at Safeway anyway. Any other questions that we?
Yeah, I think we got a couple more.
Yep.
All right. Do you do any open house advertising for everyone? So, this is Conway, by the way. Do you do any open house advertising for everyone so they can come see what you're about? So, open house for the Bays.
As far as an open house, so I have been talking about doing a couple different types of open houses, or just general how to wash a car, or this is rinseless, or something like that, and opening that up. But I'm always open. I mean, people can't come in, and I get people come in, it's like, I've seen you on Instagram or I've seen you on TikTok. I just want to see what this place is. And I'm fine with that. But there hasn't been, the events that I've done have been specific, like I said, BMWs or Mercedes or Miatas, stuff like that. So not yet, but yes, it is coming of just like proper way to wash your car, and that opens it up to everybody.
Awesome. Next question.
Another Conway one.
Can Conway asks, can complete PPE be purchased or rented for use on the property?
No. I don't have other than like my own earplugs and stuff like that. That's I've got gloves and I've got a lot of earplugs I could give people, but other than that, I don't have safety glasses or anything like that for people.
BYOB.
Once you get that dry ice, you're gonna definitely need some stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that changes things. Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
All right, next question.
Last one.
All right. Conway asks, are there products that haven't been used or tried but really would like to? Highly recommend South Korean products if you haven't looked. Conway is a big fan of the South Koreans, if you haven't noticed.
Yes. And yes, I think there was 2 questions in there. So there's a ton of products I'd love to try. So recently we've been able to open up now to start bringing in some House of Rag stuff. So, and I bought some Yum Car stuff before we could sell it just to try for myself. I met Nick up at SEMA last year and we, communicate somewhat regularly. And so I really wanted to try his stuff. And then I've just bought some stuff for me to use that I don't sell, like Renaissance, I think is phenomenal for my microfibers.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So yeah, there's a ton of stuff like the Bill Hammer stuff. I've not tried any of it. I don't sell it. I've not, bought any for myself. So yeah, there's stuff like that. As we continue down the path with being able to open up to House of Rags and the product lines that they carry, we're going to be bringing in some new stuff. We got new stuff like there's some stuff in just the brands I carry. There's some stuff I haven't tried everything yet. So, and I get asked that a lot. What
I could tell you that the 9 people on the other side of the screen have stuff. I should say most of us have stuff that we in our cabinets that we haven't tried yet.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, I got stuff at home that's been there for years. It's never been open, but I had to have it.
Yeah,
I got stuff on my doorstep that I haven't used yet. I mean, I gotta get back home. I got like 4 boxes waiting for me right now.
I was going to ask, do you curate the stuff yourself, or if you get customers coming in for a repeated brand, how do you decide what to carry? Is it stuff you?
Man,
that's a good
question. That is a phenomenal question because that is something I'm always asking myself. So being the type of guy that I am, I want to bring it all in, right? But I can't because now you got money just sitting on the shelf collecting dust.
Exactly.
So going back to like the whole PNS thing from earlier, there's another brand that I carry that I have a very hard time moving for some reason in this region, but like Ken and Jeremy move it all the time. So I'm trying to be much more strategic and listen to people when they come in and so Yum Cars is one. The car candy line has been picking up as well. More people are asking about those. So and some of the Korean towels as well. So it's constantly trying to, and we talk about this in our meetings quite a bit as a franchise. Even though, I could bring in an entire product line, I've tried to be strategic in which products within that ecosystem that I want to bring in because some just move better than others. So
Coach Kemi's got like 50 SKUs.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
You're not
just for
carrying any of
shampoos.
the under. Yeah. You're not
But
carrying
you know
any
what,
of the
Kate-
undercarriage wash. Yeah.
Yeah, but KCX, though, like I've walked into so many detail shops everywhere I've gone, and KCX is the one staple that even like the smallest shop is going to have them because it's one of the most known companies in the detail world, I would say. So, and they're like the safest choice, I would say.
Yep.
As far as I know what I'm grabbing, I know what I'm going to use it for. But if you are going to be dabbling into the House of Rag stuff, if you do want to try South Korean stuff, I think Katiba will do really well on the shelves because they have really amazing shelf appeal with their artistry on their labels.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say Quiver would probably do very well just because
Quiver
of
do
the hot
good just because
sun
of Josh. Yeah.
Yeah.
and the weather that they have there. Their products
Yeah.
A lot of his
made for
products
mobile
are
detailers
sun
working
friendly.
outside.
Sunsafe.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
So
So
yeah.
clean gets asked about a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clean by pan. And so I brought some of that stuff in, and I've only moved a couple. So it's kind of like the guy that that tells me, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be there tomorrow to check out your
Yeah,
place,"
yeah.
and you never hear from him again. So, but yeah, I mean, one thing I've thought about doing is having a shelf so I could try product, like 1 or 2 uses out of it, so I could always tell somebody, yes, I have used it, this is my experience, but then sell it for like 10 or 12 or 15% off.
Yeah.
It's got one use out of it and put it on the shelf, so I'm still thinking about that.
Hand detailing
Because-
in your store.
Yeah. I mean, I would go broke trying everything I want to try,
Right.
Yeah,
You have
I think
a
we're all
little
down that
tester
path.
table like a perfume shop.
Yeah, right.
People walking
You know.
by and just spray them down with a little wet seal or seal coat or whatever.
Well, and as you guys probably have had so many questions too, just because we are on this side of the counter and I've got a lot of products, people automatically expect that you have tried it all, you know it all. I'm like, there's not, man. And I don't
There's
want
too
to
much
ever know it
stuff.
all.
Yeah,
Because I mean, the moment that I think that I've got all the answers is the very moment that things start falling apart, because I become unteachable at that point.
Yeah.
So but I wish I could try more just so I could have more answers. So that's why I'm thinking about that shelf. Yep, I tried it, didn't like it, or yep, love it. So
Well, Mike,
you
Chris,
got-
this is Chris again. If there's, and we could do this offline, but if there's anything you want to try, save you a little money between the guys on the show right now,
We'll be happy to send it out. Yeah.
we've got it all.
I've got a quick question. I don't know. We're already a minute and 21.
An hour and
An
20
hour and
21
minute.
minutes, yeah.
that's been a long minute.
But I don't know. Were we going to do a shop tour? But I got a question real quick for.
We
And
were
I think
getting
I've
there,
asked-
Go ahead, Franco.
I think I've
Yeah.
asked Fernando this, but how friendly is your setup for Fernando when he goes in and he wants to maybe shoot a video? Like maybe you have other YouTubers or people that want to do TikToks or whatever.
Shooting
How friendly is the environment for that kind of thing?
Going back to my statement earlier, if we all cooperate in this industry, the industry will thrive. Right. So I have some newer detailers, either brick and mortar and some mobile guys, who have asked that and who have rented a spot for a whole day. So they can come in and film their stuff. So yeah, I'm totally open to that.
Nice.
So
Okay.
Yep.
If Fernando ever does that, can you make sure that you check on him and let us know how many times he cusses?
Have a swear jar.
I'm gonna wait till you're here, Greg.
Okay. So we're, like Franco said, we're past the halfway, and I know you guys want to do a tour. I got a couple announcements, and then we started doing this thing where we'll show some quick videos of people's wash and their water testing. So before we get into the videos, I just wanted to throw a big thanks out to Chris M for sponsoring the last raffle we had. The
Absolutely.
winners of that raffle, Chris, were just overjoyed with what you sent. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Boy, from Thor are with GT Maz Roger and Ivan and Sylvie are there as well. They're having an open house tomorrow in Woodbridge, Illinois. So if you're around that area, stop in.
Alvin's going to be there.
Yeah, Alvin, Corey, and a bunch of others. And then Christy's podcast Monday night. She's going to have Diamond Dan on there. And then Dan's actually Diamond Dan is having a Friday night garage audit. And the last announcement is the Devil in the Details is at 991 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to the Devil in the Details,
Let's
out
get
there
them
and get-
past.
Get them there.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I might have to
bullying
subscribe
him.
friendly.
I've been bullying him to make a new video.
Yeah, it's gonna
I was
happen.
say we're just trying to get you to make more content.
Let's get them
I'm
past
making
1,000,
content right
guys.
now. I'm helping out.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you guys want to get set up for the tour, I'll go ahead and play. We have about 4 or 5 videos that are about 10 seconds each. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right. We'll start out with J Farm, and he did a wash, and then he sprayed some luminous LM SP Pro. Here we go. That's it. And here we go. This is actually Fernando and Kronos. This is from the Tesla he did a couple weeks ago. This is going to blow you away. Watch this. There we go. And we've got Chingy with a couple videos here. We've got a red Honda, if I remember, that's going to have LM Graphene Pro, the new one. What is it called? I can't even remember.
It's the Pro.
SP Pro.
SP Pro. SP
Yep.
Pro. Yeah.
SP Pro.
New kid on the block, man. Everyone's getting into it.
Nice.
And lastly is your
It
truck.
was so good you had to see it twice.
Yep. Your truck, and we're running ZR53 from Naziol.
Yep.
Look at that.
Wow.
Naziol's pretty nuts.
That's
Every
pretty
time, every
nuts.
time the video stops, it's Don's face right in the middle of my screen. It scares me every time. Oh,
Yeah. And I commented on this when he sent it over to me. The angle that he's spraying that and sending those beads up
upwards.
like that. That
Yeah.
was pretty cool. Good idea.
Nice job, Chris.
Thank you, gentlemen.
So we've got 28, 30 people here in the chat. We're going to take a quick tour with Fernando and Mike. And so whenever you're ready, Fernando, you can go ahead and let it roll.
Take it away.
All right, Mike.
All right.
Walk us through your shop here.
Yeah. So this would be right as you walk in the front door. So again, going back to planning, which I learned a lot when it comes to retail, because I've never been retail before, but you want so many feet between the door and your first product. So that's why we start, and there's a little bit of a space. So as you walk in, there's product to your right. And the way all the products are put out here is kind of how you would take care of your vehicle. So from washes to tires to interiors and all that stuff. So every shelf, no matter which shelf you go to, it's going to be laid out the same. So once you kind of get the methodology, then, you can be consistent when you go from shelf to shelf. So anyway, so the products start here. And then Naziol ZR53, that's my favorite. So kind of set up too, the ceramic coats are pretty much by themselves other than Geon. But we then move into DIY and Koch and G-Tech and Naziol products down, their interior and stuff like that. So all that is here. And if we'll flip around real quick so we don't forget it. So the locker room that I mentioned earlier is right in here. So I start multi-use room. So I start my training off in here. So if we're doing paint correction, we'll start in here and just get on the whiteboard and do things. But members get to store their chemicals or whatever they want into their lockers as well. They're provided a lock, so they don't even have to come up with that. We'll do the lock and everything. Plus, it's a conference room. We have, like I said, a lot of business owners that come in, and sometimes they have to take a call and they need to be quiet. They can close a curtain, close the door, and take care of their call. One thing that I'm really proud about, and a lot of effort and planning and designing went into this, down to the day we were welding it in place. I was still making changes to it, but the point of sale counter, this was something that, I don't know. I wanted something, as you walked in, you immediately knew you're in a different place and not your typical retail shop. So a lot of effort went into it, poured concrete, a lot of structural steel, like I said, welded in place, laser cut, LED lights, and all that. So that's something I'm really proud of. Then as you come around the corner, again, kind of breaking things up into sections. So we have a lot of the polishes, pads, and machines are in this area, filtered in with some other stuff. But for the most part, we're trying to keep product types together. So you got that. And as you pan around, you can see where the lounge is at. There'll be another floor fixture coming in here soon, but brushes, perfectly safe brushes right there. Yeah, so there's room to expand. And then we move into kind of what we called microfiber land at first. But we got IK sprayers, the air blasters, all the microfibers, so we've got all that, wash mitts, wash towels, drying towels, all that stuff. Or over in here, as well as the buckets. Then we've got the lounge in here for people to sit, with the coffee nook over there in the corner. And then we've got, I saw one comment about a special shelf, like kind of what I was talking about. So we could maybe repurpose some of these, but there's some more like shelves, like special products or new products coming in, tend to go up here. And then, I don't know if you want to see the shower or not. I'm kind of proud of the shower too, because I wanted something really nice. So gutted everything. And just so you know, like there was 4 other offices in here that were demoed out. And this was an office, that's gone. That was an office. So there was a lot of work done. I spent a lot of time pulling up carpet and scraping concrete. We put that window in, blah, blah, blah. But I redid the whole shower in here.
Can we get Fernando to give us a demo of the shower?
Speaking of the craziest things anybody ever wanted to do with the Bays, Fernando wanted to shower. But anyway, so I wanted something nice. Again, it's about the experience, right? So I want people to really feel like this is a place they would want to come and hang out. And I kind of made it so like the best man cave that I would ever want. I tried to build that. So
That's awesome.
Walking out to the wash bay. So this is the wash bay setup. And so a client's going to come in through this door here, and then I would assign them bay 1, 2, or 3. And then they would be able to pull in, and I guide them into their work area here. And then obviously, we got the equipment and everything set up at each location. So yeah, I mean, that's that. And you can see the drains are over here. So all the water goes to this side and then gets sucked up into the power wash system over there. The biggest thing, which I didn't think would be this much of a factor, was on a really busy day, it gets really humid. So yeah, I don't know why I didn't really think it would be that big of a deal, but it can get pretty humid in here. And so you kind of have to crack the door, let the cold air out, and along the humidity as well. So, but anyways, we kind of have a special wall too. So, people come in, they can sign the wall. I sponsored a young kid, a boxer. So he won his 11-0 fight. So we had him do a picture and stuff up there, but we have different people come in and sign the wall. So again, this is the wash bay. And so there's room over here. We talked about expansion. So this area over here, I could expand the power wash into if I wanted to do just like a truck section. Is kind of what I was thinking. So like 2,500 trucks and stuff like that. They could be more over here on this side. And it looked kind of ugly, but these were all offices that were demoed out as well. So these were all office spaces, and this had to be cut in. So this was a solid wall, so I had to cut this in so we could go back and forth. The only way through at the time was through the kitchen. So, but in the work bay, we got some stuff going on in here, doing some PPF and window tint on this Colorado. I polished it out today. I'll be doing ceramic coat on it tomorrow. But we got that going on. So this is the work bay area. Again, all the spots, you have a shop vac, workstation, compressed air at each location. And I probably shouldn't have shown you that one because it's really messy. But
it's just the reality of how it is. I mean,
right, true. Yep. But my ego sometimes, you know. So yeah, so this is the work bay, and I try to keep my full service area on this side over here where the guys are working right now. So that way all this stuff is more for the clients, but we can flex depending on the day. I try not to do full service on the weekends so I can focus on clients coming in, members, customers like that, because the weekends obviously are more busy. So I've done a few cars on a weekend and trying to run retail and all that stuff. I mean, it gets to be a lot. So on the weekends, I can open things up if I don't have cars that are being stored here. So the Ferrari is going to be gone tomorrow. That's been here for a couple of days, getting some work done on it. So sometimes, you know.
What coating is going on that Mercedes?
ZR53.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
buddy.
on the Ferrari,
Yeah, what's on the Ferrari?
the ZR53.
nice.
Yep.
Do you run it by yourself, Mike? Or do you
Yes.
have
Did we
By
ask
yourself.
how many employees
It's
you have?
just me. No, it's just me. So these guys. So I
Wow.
partner up with a Phantom Tint, and so these guys
you
are from
focus,
Phantom
Fernando?
Tint.
That's what I'm trying to do here. And
Oh,
No
yeah,
worries.
it's kind of-
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think if you focus
background there
on
for
Mike,
Fernando.
it's going to focus on what's behind him as well.
Yeah, I think you might
Your
have like the
phone
blur
isn't
thing.
focusing.
Yeah, you have like the blurred background.
That's fine.
Yeah.
No worries.
Okay,
If
we'll
you
get
have-
you a
if
better
have Mike
camera
in the
next time.
If you have Mike in the shot, it comes out good.
Something
No,
better
you
than a
okay.
potato next time. It's okay.
Fernando, you just lost your opportunity to sign the wall.
Yeah. So like I was saying, the guys here are from Phantom Tint. They're a company that kind of partnered up with, and so they do all the PPF and window tint for me.
Nice.
Eventually I'd like to bring it all in house, but you got to start somewhere. But yes, so right now it is me. A lot of times on the weekends, my son's with me. He's 11, but I can kick him off on an interior and tell him, use these two products, do these three things. And man, he gets it done. He comes to me, hey, daddy, I'm done. What's next? I'm like, dude, you knocked it out of the park. Here's the next thing. So, and then sometimes if I'm really busy or have an event, either my sister or my wife will come in and run the retail side to bring me up and keep me on schedule.
Nice.
Because if it's not apparent, I can talk a lot. So, so yeah, I was going to show you. So I had to build this equipment room too. And so I housed the air compressor in here, and it's kind of messy, but it's an Emax air compressor. So I don't know if you
There
can
you go,
see
for
that or not,
Conway.
but- Yeah.
Yeah, for Conway.
So
Ta-da.
we're going to have it's a beast. Air for days. And so I've got it pre-plumbed. I can set a surge tank out here as well. So that way, when I do the dry ice cleaning, I've got plenty of air in reserve if for whatever reason that has a hard time keeping up. But yeah, so everything out here was done. Like I ran all the air lines, I rewired all the lights. I had to put new air conditioners in. So it was swamp cooler. So I put in 3 new air conditioners, had to rework the ducts twice to make it work right. Put in the big ass fans. A lot of work. So I took over the building on June 1st of last year. I retired on the May 30th. And so my wife and I went on a week-long coast ride on the motorcycle. And then I came back and got to work. And I think I was working 7 days a week, about 14 hours a day until the second week of September to get the place ready. And then we opened
Wow.
October.
Wow.
Hell of a retirement.
Yeah, right. I'm busier now than when I was employed. So
You need to
but I
go back
love
to
it.
work so you can relax.
Yeah, exactly. I love this. I mean, I'm just washing cars, but I absolutely love this. I don't know what else to say. I just enjoy it. I enjoy talking to the people, meeting people, just building relationships. I enjoy that, but I just love the work. I love to be busy and when I have the aches and pains from polishing out a car, that's a good day. I'm blessed to feel that because that means I'm working.
And if it's any consolation, Mike, it shows. It really does. So,
well, good. I hope
congrats,
so.
man.
And this interesting thing, I don't know if it's in focus or not, but you see this whole wall here, all the aluminum looking stuff. So that's all windows. So much heat was coming in here, and the previous tenant had just spray painted everything black. So me, in my infinite wisdom, I got the 1.5 inch styrofoam boards from Lowe's, and I cut out for each window pane and put the foam in there. But it was right up against the glass. So what happens? It overheats and it cracks. So I broke 5 windows. 2 of them I had repaired, and the very next day they cracked again before I realized what was going on. So then I had to rebuild this entire thing as a frame, and now there's about an 8-inch gap, and then there's a 1-inch gap at the top. So as the air heats up and stuff, it can cycle in and out. But that's interesting because that wasn't something I necessarily thought about. I saw all the glass and knew it was going to be a problem. The reason why I didn't tint it was 1, the cost, but 2, I was very limited with the management company on what type of tint I could do. So I couldn't do really reflective or anything like that. So this was the logical solution. That was already painted black, so nobody could see in. So I just put the boards up. So, yeah.
You solved the problem. So
excellent.
Yeah.
After a couple of windows. Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. And so really like the next stages, I need to redo the insulation on the top. This insulation is horrible. So the air conditioners run a lot when it's hot, and they've been basically running since 7 a.m. this morning nonstop. And it gets
How
really
cool
expensive.
does it keep it?
So, what are we at? 84 right now in this bay. This is a larger bay. Was 107 today.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
84.
And so,
oh my word.
Yeah. And so the other bay was at 83.
Are utilities included in your rent?
No.
I had to ask. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, if that thing's
You and Noah bringing up sore subjects there, Adamo.
Sorry.
Right, yeah. I'm going to rename a drying towel to the crying towel. So, but
it comes once a month when the utility bill comes. Yeah.
We're actually going to get this guy some solar, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, I mean, that's kind of it. That's pretty much it.
It's quite impressive.
So,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. It is.
Nice place, man.
It's really cool when you're in here, right? Because now you're seeing it real time. You're seeing everything going on here and just how massive this is.
Yeah.
I don't think the camera shows how massive and how big this all comes out.
Yeah, a lot of people get shocked when they come in. They see it online and all the social media stuff that I do, and then when they come in, they're like, "Oh, didn't expect it to be like this." So, yeah.
So it's larger in person.
Yep,
that's what she said. So, yeah. So that's pretty much it, fellas.
Very impressive.
Very awesome.
Very
You
impressive.
haven't stopped smiling since you started showing everything off. I think it was right about the custom laser cut LED desk up front.
Yeah, that is one cool entrance there.
It's like a proud father.
Yeah, honestly, guys, I mean, I don't know how many times I've told my wife this, but I'm gobsmacked at times. I come in here, not that I own the building, but I go, this is mine.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I've been corporate, I was a military, then I was corporate for 30 plus years. And so even though we've had side business, we own a salon as well. My wife owns a salon. For me, this is like a new thing, right? And I just absolutely love this. Yeah. And so being able to walk around a shop that's mine, even when it's a really slow day and I do get frustrated, underneath all of it is this level of joy and contentment that I've never really experienced in a professional way before. So,
do you ever, go in, say, I do it in my garage. You're going in the middle of the night. It's quiet. It's clean. And you just look around and just kind of take it all in.
It's good
Yeah.
to be the king.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. I do my Titanic moment every now and then. I'm king of the world.
Sweet.
No, so funny story. So, like I said, about the middle of September is when pretty much everything was done. And I remember telling my wife, I'm going in tomorrow and I don't want to be bothered. I'm not doing any work other than I want to play with all the toys. I'm going to wash, polish, and ceramic coat my car, and I'm going to be there most of the day. And it was one of the greatest days in my life, right? Because up until then, I'm in a garage or whatever. And so you're coming around a car in your roller seat and you're, at least in my garage, I have a huge,
Yeah,
my wife and I have a huge 4-car garage, but I'm hitting a mountain bike or I'm hitting the, whatever it is, one of the kids' toys or something like that. So to be able to spin all the way around the car and not run into anything, like, it was awesome. So yeah, that was, talk about a proud papa. That day was pretty awesome.
No one to ask you to go to Safeway.
Yeah, right. Grubhub.
Yeah. Mike, this is Jimmy. One thing that's very apparent during this podcast, and hopefully everyone can feel it, what I'm feeling, is just that your passion and your love for what you do really shines through.
100%.
For anyone who's in the area, this is just a reflection our group had earlier in the week, where I think it was David who said, I support people, not products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
1000%.
So if you're in the area, go check out the Bays and Mesa. Support, Mike and what he's got going on. It just looks like a lot of fun and great energy. And if there's one thing that people don't know about the Bays at Mesa that you can share, what would that one message be?
You're welcome. You're welcome here. I don't know if that really answers your question or not, but what do I want them to know? I want them to know that, yeah, you're welcome. I do not care what type of vehicle you drive or have. If you're passionate about it, that's the only requirement for coming in, is that you're passionate about your car. And even then, if you just want to wash your car or whatever, but I'll talk with you. We'll learn together, so I just want everybody to know that you can come here. No question is too stupid to ask, if that's politically correct. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure we could find a stupid question for you.
Well, okay. Maybe I should qualify that.
It usually starts with chemical guys.
What's your favorite chemical guys product?
Yeah.
I'll show you what my favorite chemical, guys, is. It's just outside this door. Slam it.
I think that's probably the biggest thing, is just, everybody is welcome here. There's no requirement for being a member. There's no requirement for coming to use the bay. Even if you don't know anything about it, I'll walk you through it.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
that's awesome.
That's so great to walk into a place and not feel like oh, this is great. I got to deal with this guy now.
Yeah.
It's good to come in and hey, your family, what do you need? I'm here for you. And hopefully the detailers that are already in there, or washers, or it's like when you go to a gym or somewhere you visit, constantly, you kind of just automatically create that camaraderie. You got that one, hey, remember that one dude? You can pal around, and it's a great atmosphere.
It sounds like you want to build your own community.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's what the lounge was built for. I mean, I try to, some of the social media stuff I do for the lounge, I'm trying to have it almost appear like its own entity, because I want people to come hang out. Like I said, I'm a huge race fan. So this weekend's at 24 Hours of Le Mans. I didn't have time to promote it properly, but I do want to host 24-hour races. Man, let's bring pizza in at 2:00 in the morning and let's watch a race, So I just want to do stuff like that. So yeah. And thank you. I'm glad that it comes through. This is who I'm a passionate person anyways, especially on anything I'm into. But I'm glad that it does come through, because I truly do love this, even on the rough days.
You can tell. You can
Yeah,
tell
you're
right
right.
from the coffee,
Fit
right
in.
from coffee on. It was.
Where can people
Good
find you
deal.
on social media? You keep talking about the content you're making. Where can we find you?
Yeah, so all the socials, the call sign is the Bays Mesa. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me all over there. I do have a YouTube channel, but even though I think I have 13 subscribers, there's 0 videos.
Come on, guys, we can help there. Let's go.
Yeah, we
I
can
need
help
help
there
with
for
that.
sure.
I've shot a lot of videos with the intent of putting them on YouTube, but then I get some mental block in my head, like trying to edit and put together and stuff. I don't know. So I am open to a sidebar conversation and help with any of that stuff for sure.
I'm sure we can help with
I want to
that.
be able to do more of that content.
I'm sure we could help. Absolutely. Hit one of us up.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So everyone needs to, call all their friends in Arizona, get their asses over down to the Bays. Don't even leave the chemical guys at home. We don't need that shit over there. You go buy some stuff from Mike and clean your car right. And then if you need some help, Mike will help you out.
There you go.
And Fernando will film it.
Fernando will film it.
Hopefully not on a potato.
We'll get him a better camera. We promise.
I fixed it. I fixed
The
it.
camera's fine. It's the operator that's a little.
User.
User error, like everything else.
One thing we didn't really touch on much, real quick. I know we're getting close, but training. So I do training classes too, and I've done a lot. I've got I'll do 1-on-1. I'll do 3, 4, 5. Then sometimes I'll have people come in, like I had Car Candy here for doing the training for the candy coat stuff and for different certifications. And I'm bringing in other people. Nazial is going to be here. We're going to do a 3-day paint correction class, stuff like that. But I also do small classes, and I don't charge a terrible amount for it. It's like $65 an hour. And I'll take you, like, if you've never touched a polisher before or DA, we'll get you on paint within an hour or two and get you time with that. So I do a lot of training classes as well. And I love that. I love educating. I love training people. Which my wife finds funny because God didn't bless me with a lot of patience for most things. So the fact that I enjoy training is kind of odd. One of my quirks. But that is something something that we do as well. And right over on the wall, retail detail training. So,
Oh wow. What's your favorite class? What do you prefer? Whether it's just a basic wash, the polish, the coating. What's your favorite to teach? What's your favorite class?
Probably my 2 favorite, honestly, one, washing a car. Just because of the way I learned, thinking that was the right way, and then finding out several years later, and after a lot of damage to my vehicles, hey, there is a right way to do it, or a few different right ways to do it. But that and paint correction, I think one thing we as detailers love, or one of the reasons why I love it, is there's instant gratification. Like that second or third pass of the polisher. Oh, yeah. And all of a sudden the paint just pops and comes to life. You're like, this is why I do this, right? So seeing that light bulb turn on for somebody, or just like they have this fear of, I know I'm going to burn the paint and everything else. Well, no, you're not. I mean, well, you can, but I'm just saying that getting that light bulb to turn on and seeing that look on their face when they get it and they understand. I've watched all the YouTube videos. I know what I'm doing. It's different when you get this in your hand, right? So,
oh yeah,
I do love that part of it. That's one reason why I love training and paint correction specifically.
That's awesome.
I got a question for you.
The Car Candy training. Did you get a chance to meet SBG?
Yes, and she was here.
Awesome. She is nice.
Yeah,
and she comes across on her content.
Yeah. She was actually here with Buff and Shine right before she left PNS to go to Car Candy. Yep. But she was here. Yeah.
Here's one for you. 1 bucket or 2?
Or 0.
No bucket.
Are we talking rinseless? Are we talking? Because
we're talking about, I'm a 2 bucket guy personally. It doesn't matter what I've got in the bucket. I love my 2 buckets.
So I'm 2, well, actually 3, because I have 1 for the wheels.
I was right.
I'm a 2 bucket person too, although Ivan has been coaching me for quite some time of if you do a proper pre-rinse and pre-foam, you really only need 1 bucket. I
want to have this conversation. I like this stuff. So, we watch the videos, the one dunk, they do the foam, they rinse, and then they go to the one dunk method or the test. So all that grime that's on that sponge releases into the bucket, right?
For rinse.
That rinseless. There you go. So now you've got a dirty, now you're dipping back into that bucket and doing all the verge of dripping, of course, and then you're washing.
Right.
All of that muck, and we're not talking about grit. We're talking about the road film and all that funk. It's dirty bath water, basically. You're washing your car with. So why not do 2 buckets and have the majority of that funk in the rinse bucket, and leave your wash bucket that much more clean? See, I love this conversation.
I agree. Yeah, so definitely with rinseless, I used to be 1 bucket, and a while back, kind of, what was it? About 4 months ago, 5 months ago, there was this big online thing about rinseless and 2 buckets and 1 bucket. Sometime before that, it just kind of dawned on me that same thing. I'm like, man, my water is really nasty, and I'm putting that back on here. So I kind of went to a 2 bucket, but also I have a little sprayer that I use to spray for that, and so I need to refill it, and I don't want to refill it with the dirty crap and dirty water, and spray it back on there. So the 2 bucket to me with rinseless is like my method. That's the way for me. It makes the most sense. So
yeah, I've been 2 bucket rinseless forever now, and I'm actually 1 bucket on for regular washing, because by the time I get to the wash portion of a regular wash, my car is pretty much clean at that point. So I really don't have to worry about it that much on a regular wash.
You rinse this night every night with us, so
that's true.
But do you do like the Larry?
Rinseless.
Do you do like the Ammo NYC method where you got like 10 rags in your wash, and you're using one? And
I'm using like 6 or 7 sponges. So, but I'll use the Gary Dean method. I'll throw sometimes rags. Like today, I taught my nephew how to do rinseless wash because all their cars are nasty here in Boston. So I taught them to use the rags and the sponges because I couldn't afford to buy them 17 sponges here because I could only find 2 of them. So, anyways, but yeah, whatever works to get the paint clean without marring is the way I work. So I mean, I'll use any method.
Yeah.
So question for you though, do you change that if you're going to do, let's say you're doing a 2-step, you're kind of less concerned to some degree because you're going to be hitting it with the nuke option anyways to get the paint done, and defects removed. Are you as concerned about kind of adding some marring marks?
I'm not. I like that question. Why take the safest route to wash the car if you're going to polish it?
Right.
Which I mean, the 1 bucket, 2 bucket, whatever. You don't have to foam rinse foam. You can use your alkalines and acids to clean the paint. But yeah, you don't want to unsafely wash your car. But why take the safest route, which also contains a lot of steps, if you're going to polish? So there you go.
If I'm going to 2-step, I'm not worried at all, to be honest with you. But if I'm going to do a 1-step, I'm still being a little bitch with my buckets. Yeah.
I may be the outlier here, but I'm the opposite. It's all muscle memory. It's all my process is my process. And then when I get to it, get to polishing, for me, it's all the same. It's all that hand on the vehicle. It's to me, it's
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Technology too. Yeah. I don't care what I'm doing. I always wash the same way, and it's 2 buckets.
Yeah.
So right. I know talking with mobile guys who are more about, we got to get it done. I'm out in the elements and everything. It is about saving every second. Now, I don't want to be stuck on a car longer because time is money, but it is about the experience. So like my hand washes are like the premium hand wash. I go through all those steps, even on a maintenance wash, because I want that car to leave and that customer to leave going, dang, this is clean. And I get a lot of compliments about that, like especially on brake calipers. Like I am one of my pet peeves is brake dust, and I've got an AMG, and so if brake dust is horrible.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of clients who told me, like when I first started doing their cars, they're like, I forgot they were that red. I didn't realize that because the other guy never cleaned them like that. So, you know,
Some people say they hate wheels. Do you hate,
I hate
wheels?
doing them. But I love the end product.
Yeah. They're the jewels on the crown.
Yeah. There's two things that make a detail like look legit, and that's your wheels and your glass.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
they'll miss all the defects on the paint, but if that glass is clean and those wheels are friggin' dialed in, the customer is usually elated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too, that when you look at a vehicle where it's not done, the average person can't really tell what's not done, but they know it's not wow. Right. And so when you do those things, again, they don't know what you did, but dang, that looks awesome. So it's like those intangibles.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you've tried a few of the Yum products. Have you tried their rinseless with their tri-fiber pad?
Not with the pad. No. I'm still using a sponge. So I've not
Treat
tried
yourself.
That yet, but I do
Get the tri-fiber pad. Treat yourself.
And I just started doing this. So I do the first clean with the sponge, and then I do a final pass. I'm currently a big fan of the House of Rags
Nemesis.
Wash
Boss. I'm sorry.
Or the Wash Boss Junior. You can do whatever your preferred wash pad is. Do your final pass in rinseless with clean paint with a really good lubricious rinseless. I'm not going to use the S word with rinseless because I don't believe rinseless is slick. But
he just did it.
It's going to blow your mind, man. You're going to be like, oh, wow, I've never felt rinseless on paint. After you've done the first clean and then with the wash pad. It's kind of cool. Speaking of just the experience, right? Obviously, if you're doing this for money, I wouldn't waste your time. Get it clean. But if it's your vehicle, try it that way just once. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm like, well, what difference could it make? But I guess it can, right? Everything else can too. So I'll give it a shot.
There you go.
Cool. All right. So, well, we're just passing 2 hours, boys. What do you think?
Yeah. So we could definitely let you go, and we know that Fernando has to make at least one stop on the way home. So we want him to get there before Safeway locks the doors. But Mike, we really appreciate you taking the time and letting us come over and hang out with you for a couple hours.
Yeah. We originally talked about you coming on for an hour and, sticking around, but it's been one hell of a couple hours. So,
like to get you back to get on topics. One of the weeks where we have topics.
Oh
yeah.
Fun topics.
Yeah.
Topics.
Yeah. I'm down. Thank you so much for asking me. I told Fernando, I was like, I'm honored that I would be asked. Right. So
it's our honor, man.
I do appreciate the opportunity for sure. And anytime you guys want me back, I'd be more than happy. More than happy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you for coming on, Mike. Thank you for all the viewers at home watching, as always.
Thank you for sticking around with us. Yeah, we've had a steady stream of viewers this whole time. So it's
thank you for the great questions too, guys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was probably the most questions we've had so far. They I think over 35 questions, if I counted right.
Yeah.
You're a hit, Mike. You're a hit.
You're a hit.
Yeah. Well, we have to give some of the props to Fernando too. He made a view in there too.
Yeah.
Right?
Big props to our on-site location reporter.
The
unpolished detail.
Just do yourself a favor.
In 75.
Mike, just do yourself a favor before he pulls out. Make him show you that video, okay?
Okay, we'll do.
All right.
Oh yeah, the R2D2 video. Yeah.
Yeah. So as with every week, everybody, please stick around for the next 37 seconds, and we really appreciate it. This will be it. We will see you next week. And don't forget, just a couple of quick things. Get out there, Devils in Detail. Get him to 1,000 subscribers. He's just about there. Diamond Dan is going to have his audit, and then he's on Christie's, and the boys are in Woodbridge, Illinois. They have an open house. Check them out. And that'll do it. Here we go.
And make sure, before you go, Greg, make sure to check out the Bays at Mesa. Tell Mike that the Clearcoat Confessions group sent you.
He'll give you no discount.
Find his content.
You'll get a fist bump.
You get a fist bump.
You'll get a free bottle of chemical guys.
There you go.
Courtesy
We're
of
kicking the ass.
Yeah. All right. What were you saying, Chris?
I was just saying, find the Bays at Mesa on Instagram, TikTok, like his posts, repost it, get the word out there. Let's show some love to some great people out there and support. It's all about love and the culture, so keep it going, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Subscribe to his YouTube channel, everybody.
Thank you guys so much.
Peace, love, and chicken grease. Take you later.
Thanks for listening to Clearcoat Confessions. Just a quick reminder, the opinions and hot takes expressed by our guests today are entirely their own and don't necessarily reflect the views of the hosts. Detailing involves heavy tools and strong chemicals, so if you try any of the techniques or products we talked about today, you do so at your own risk.